So this is my post-fight reaction to Dave Allen versus Johnny Fisher. Dave Allen started off pretty slow in this fight, but as we seen, he dropped Johnny Fisher in the 5th round, and that was after Johnny Fisher came out. It was definitely dominating, throwing some good combinations. Um, Dave Allen was throwing the overhand right. He was trying to touch with the jab. He was basically just throwing 1-2s early on. And going into this fight, I felt like if Dave Allen, his stamina held up later on in the fight, he would actually be able to win this fight. That's the only thing I asked him to do in this fight was basically bring his gas tank full and have a high stamina. And that's what he did. His stamina was very high, but that wasn't the reason why the fight was so close. The reason why the fight was so close is because even after he lost the first 4 rounds, it's because he ended up hurting Johnny Fisher, who kept leaning and was lackadaisical and kind of lazy with his approach to the fight. After he got the first 4 rounds, he tried to really cruise and take his time, and Allen landed a big right hand and ended up hurting Johnny Fisher. And Fisher was basically out of it for the rest of the fight. His legs were gone. If you can see in this picture right here, they're holding his head. If you can look at this picture, his training staff and everybody's looking like he just lost the fight. Look at Johnny Fisher's people in the corner. They're holding his head and everything on his shoulder. He thinks he lost the fight. Dave Allen thinks he won. And a lot of other people on the that was basically voting, it was like 73% of the people felt like Dave Allen won the fight. They gave it to him. And a lot of people on the outside felt like he won the fight as well. And now, with this whole situation going the way it did, and you know, Dave Allen is a guy who basically retired 2 years ago and wanted to go away from boxing just from the outside of things, and you know, life happens. And I was a guy who actually seen him recently, had started a YouTube channel around the same after I did, and I actually supported the guy. And I'm gonna be honest with you, didn't know who the guy was or anything like that. And for some reason, I like this story, and I realized, man, this is a real guy going through some real things. And I feel like he has potential to actually, he's young, he still has potential to be something at the heavyweight division. So this so-called robbery, whatever you want to call it, is not just about, you know, the fight result. It's a lot more deeper when I think about it, because I actually started following his page and everything else. He probably doesn't know this. He'll know this if he hears it. But I started following his page and posting a lot of things because, you know, I support boxers who have YouTube channels, even though mine isn't that big. You know, one person is better than zero, so you can always do your part. But I felt like his story and everything about boxing outside the ring was just beating them down. You know, anyone who goes through something in life, if you have gone through something in life, if you haven't gone through anything in life, well, good for you. But Dave Allen has been through a lot through his life, and this was his redemption story. This was basically the nail. This was the nail right here. All he had to do was hammer it down. It was gonna be a wrap. But for some reason, he couldn't really pull it off. I would have thought at least it was gonna be a draw, at the very least. But he ended up getting a result of a loss, and Johnny Fisher ended up being the guy who was the recipient of the win. But this guy has worked his tail off. He's gotten in great shape. He was able to use that right hand and land a lot. He was throwing the hook in the fight. He was jabbing well. Johnny Fisher was not in this fight. He was basically almost stopped. I would like to know the name of this referee, because he did an excellent job after I seen some terrible refereeing in this on this fight card. The referee for this fight actually saved Allen from getting even, you know, in more bad situations, because the knockdown didn't really look like a knockdown. It looked like a basically a slip or just a push. But what happened was Allen was moving away from Fisher after hurting him, and Fisher basically was holding Allen to try to stand up, but he was out of it. It was a knockdown. And even after that, Fisher gets up and grabs on to Allen. Allen hits him again, steps back. Allen is throwing punches off the back foot. And this is in the 5th round. And Johnny Fisher basically falls down again. And this time, when he falls down, because Allen he ended up slinging him down, and when he looks back at this, he's going to realize that was a huge mistake slinging him down the way he did. Because that's what helped Johnny Fisher actually last to the end of the fight. If he wouldn't have slung him down, Johnny Fisher wouldn't have been able to save this fight. I mean, basically stay to the end of this fight. He wouldn't have lasted. He wouldn't have finished the fight. He was going to get stopped. His legs were gone even when he took a break and rest. He took like 20 seconds to really recover because the referee was telling him, hey, man, you just slung him down. What are you doing? So he had to go to the corner and put Dave Allen in the other corner. And the whole time, Johnny Fisher's on the ground just on a knee, taking a break, getting a breather, getting himself back together. The equilibrium was off. And I know at the end of the fight, I know he felt like he lost. And, you know, in his mind, I'm not going to speak for him, but you could tell that he felt like he lost, allegedly. But Dave Allen did a great job, man, to see him go out there and take this win and control the whole way as far as from the 5th round all the way down. And if you can count, he was basically dominating the whole fight. And, you know, it's bittersweet because he went out there and proved everybody wrong. A lot of people felt like he was going to get knocked out and put to sleep, and he wasn't that good, and that he was damaged goods, and that he's a finished product. And he just went out there and showed everybody that he's not. And I'm very proud of this guy to actually go out there and prove that to all the naysayers and the doubters. I like when people do that, even if I'm doubting them. I would like to see the best, a fighter show his best, and that's what Dave Allen did. It was very impressive. Johnny Fisher is a guy who puts together punches very well. He's a very good puncher, has very good combinations. But he fought lazy, hanging on and letting his head hang over and leaving his chin in the air. And it was a lot of mistakes he made. He fought very lazy, and Dave Allen picked up on all those mistakes. And I felt like he won the fight. But at the end of the day, you know, things happen in boxing. Everybody's scorecard is not going to look the same. Everybody's not perfect, but this is one where he should have won this fight. But I'm just here to tell him that, hey, you look like a winner tonight to me, man. You're a winner in everybody's book. Everybody's seen the real version of you, and they'll never doubt you again. But that's all I got. Like and subscribe.